I believe each of us is a genius. I think a good leader is this person has the ability to discover the genius within each of us and create an environment that allows this person to thrive. And I remember when I was in middle school, at that point, I already kind of lost interest in learning. But this one teacher, she was like, I wanted you to really lead our English class, be a class leader. And you had very important responsibilities in this and that. I was looking at her, I was like, why me? Because my English was not that great. And she was like, I believed in you. And even to this day, like when I close my eyes, I can still remember when she told me that. I think oftentimes in our life, I got emotional. And because we really, each of us is genius. We just need someone to be there to tell you, you know what? I believe in you. You can do this. Yes. Instead of like attacking each other, but really create an environment to maximize their value to humanity. And to step back, allow this person to grow into a leadership position. So I think that is a really good leader to me. And I don't know if you guys know, there was an American professor. I think he was born in India. So what he did was he brought a bunch of computers and dumped into a really undeveloped section. I forgot where it is, in India. All those kids, they had no idea what this thing was. It was just a box. And it was very interesting study because the professor didn't say anything. They just said, okay, here are the things, you guys figure it out. I think also give them some like homework to do. And there was only one teacher. And this one teacher didn't know anything about computer. And what she said every day is, you guys can do this, You are making progress, amazing. I'm here to support you. And a few weeks later, and the professor from the US went back to India, and all those kids, they figure out how to do coding, they solve the problems. It was so amazing. I think it was a TED Talk. I was like, wow, it just shows all those little children, even though they have never been introduced to computer technology, we all have the ability to figure things out. But we don't have an environment that support us to figure things out, or like a good leader who just don't do much, just, you know what, you can do this. So I think that's how I think about leaders. Yeah.
Beautifully said, beautifully said. I mean, I couldn't agree more. I think that to determine how good a leader is to ensure how good of a catalyst that person is, instead of being, and that is so powerful. Because I'm a firm believer, each and every one of us has greatness within ourselves. All we need to do is just delve within, find it, and bring it out. And sometimes, and that's where a leader, a mentor, a coach is so important, because they just are able to just bring it out from within you, get you to believe, get you to see, who you are as a person, and bring out that purpose from within you by aligning your vision and your mission. So
that's it. That's what it's about.
Yeah,
exactly.
Sorry to interrupt you. If you think about our education, or maybe even parenting, like when I was a kid, the only thing I heard from my parents was the things that I was not good at. So we spent hours to try to improve the things that I was not good at. But the things that I was good at, nobody cared. I was like, okay. So slowly, the things I was not good at didn't get improved much. The things I was good at, like nobody gave any attention to nurture that. So we kind of like forgotten it also. And I really think we need to really start to see the good and the potential, and to provide the environment to let those.
Absolutely.
I mean, just to jump into that, and I totally agree with you. I think from an Asian perspective, we've got an impact of the way our social culture is set up, and that social culture set up conditioning impacts on the education. It then creates an impact on the nuclear, man and wife impact. Now, I mean, there's so many. I'm 56 years old, so let me put it this way. I'm mixed. I've grown up in very many places. You hear no so many times as a young child that your neural pathways form no highway. If you get my pun on English, my neural pathways are not there. I've heard no from 0 to 12 or 0 to 10, whatever. As a result, whatever I could do, I only believe I can't do, because it's a no highway, right? And today, 40 years later, I'm relearning affirmations to create new pathways here. And when you say environment, good God, I mean, if you go to kindergarten schools, You know, I learned it literally sending my kids to kindergarten, that Montessori method, right? The environment plays a huge role in bringing out the ability of a child. So if we were to replicate that at work, what Brian just gave the example, if a leader...
No, it's so true.
That's right.
Allow them to do the things that they are good at and just leave them alone instead of like, you know, hey.
It was just, it got me thinking about something else, you know, and I mean, you hit the nail on the head. Like it's why I love doing what I do. We talk about things like LinkedIn, we talk about video and you know, to see things in others that they don't see in themselves. Okay. I think that's something that great leaders do. And to help give you the courage and the bravery to know that you can do this. And don't worry about falling. Just know that it's about taking the step, because we learn, you never lose. You either win or you learn, and you always learn, so you always win. And when it comes to things like video, and I'll just tie it in since this is going to be on LinkedIn, you know, there's so many people. I was terrified to get on video because all I thought was, what if my Tourette's come out? I had no idea what I was doing. I didn't even know there were apps that existed, technology that existed. I was so green to all of it. And it was really, really, really uncomfortable for me because it was brand new. And it was just like everything else in my life, getting comfortable, being comfortable doing something that I've never done before, right? And went through that whole journey and just so much struggle and angst and, oh God, just craziness, right? And then the point of inflection where I started to have fun, and then it changed for me, right? But the most important part about it was that, you know, because some people look at it and go, well, what's the big deal? It's just video, you know, or what's the big deal about this project you're working on at work? It's a small project. No, it's a big deal to you, and it's hard for you, and you struggle through that. And I think, like anything, when you have someone that's there to say, you can do this, you're not alone. There's people here to support you. You know, and I believe in you. Like you said, you know, and it chokes you up, and I get it. Like my mom did that for me, you know, when I was growing up. You know, I remember a moment, I'm going to sidetrack, but I remember when I came home from school and I was a young boy and I was bawling, and I had a bad day. I had a lot of kids making fun of me, and I came in and I said, you know, why does everybody make fun of me, and why does nobody like me? And you know, this happens in the workplace too. I mean, bullying happens globally. And she said, she took me into the bathroom and she had this down, and she said, I want you to see something. And she did all the ticks and twitches I was doing at the time and said, okay, I want you to let it rip. Whatever you've got in you, just let it go. Because I would try to subside these things and it would make it worse. Like a volcano wanting to explode, right? And I did all that, and we laughed, and then she put on some music and we started dancing, and it, like, you know, that's my mom. And I think when you think about leadership in general, and in the workplace and school and wherever it is, right, as parents, we're leaders, and it's the hardest job in the world. You get the least paid job in the world, and you have it for your entire life. And we are here to bring good human beings into the world, and to make sure that they use their hearts, and that they care for others, and that they can take care of themselves, and Lord willing, to take care of us when we can't. And you know, just leadership is just one of those things, like I said, that exists in all of us. It's not in the workplace, it's everywhere. And if we as a collective would just remember that light that's within all of us and believe in others, you know, there's no predisposition, just believe in people and give them that light that they may not see in themselves. I wholeheartedly believe even though all we see is the negative on the news, right? That there is so much more good and positivity and light in this world. We just need to bring more light to it.
Absolutely. On that note, thank you so much for your amazing shares. And it was such a pleasure to actually have you on as our guest speakers on Create the Edge. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts, from both myself and Joy. We'd like to thank both I and you, Brian, for your time that you spent with us on this day.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, you guys. Thank you so much.